Hey guys, MB here, and this is Tales from My Childhood, episode 4, the infamous butt bush. What's the butt bush, you ask? Well, let's get down to business. So, I was just about 10 years old. I lived in Wauwatosa, which actually means firefly in a Native American language, but I digress. And when I was 10 years old, I lived in this small little part of Wauwatosa called Diane Drive. And there's where all the hoodlums, my gang of cool-ass, kick-ass kids all hung out. And I was young, 10 years old, and we decided that it's time to start experimenting and having fun, right? So, to move forward, my neighbor had this huge bush in their yard, and it actually looked like 4 butts put together, so it was like quadra booty, right? So imagine like 4 people huddling, and then you just took a shot of their booties, and you took that off, and you made it into a bush. That is the infamous quad booty butt bush, yeah, right? So so the thing about this butt bush is if you just slip right through the crack, you get into this like hollowed out bush. And like 8 of us kids could hang out in this bush at the same time. So we'd all like rendezvous in there. I mean, like we'd ding dong ditch, we'd egg cars, we'd do whatever we did as little rascals, and we'd go whoosh, slip right through the crack of the bush, and bam, we'd hide out. We could like peek and all that crap. It was perfect. Then, we started hanging out with the ladies a little bit, and we all decided to play truth or dare. And what happens in the butt bush stays in the butt bush. So I'm not going to talk too much about the first times I, kissed a girl, etc. However, one day, my buddy Joey he was the one who came with all these like hustler, like gentleman magazines, adult magazines, and he showed up and we were all like, yeah, we're stoked. So we put him in the butt bush, and we'd go in the butt bush and we, looked at adult magazines for the first time, saw my first nudie girls. It was, one of those very memorable experiences as a young man, right? So those things were amazing. However, we didn't want to get caught, so we hid him in the bush. But then one of the girls found him one day, and she was furious. I mean, raw, angry, and we heard word on the street that I'm not gonna say names, but this girl decided that she was gonna take these magazines and go to the hand fort in the woods and go and throw these magazines into the water, the pond that created. So we're like, no, and me, Joe, AJ, Steve, the gang, George, we all huddled, and we're like, we gotta go get those magazines. We gotta save the magazines no matter what. So we get together, we cruise through those woods, man. We're running over the trails, we jump over the logs, get over the creek, boom. We see it, we made it. And there she is, standing on top of the log. I'll never forget, Joey's heart sank. He was like, no. And the woman was just took those magazines and ripped them up and just threw them. And just threw them right into the pond. And it was just as if someone threw $100 bills and you just watched them all disappear and just fall into this crappy, muddy, murky pond. Just get ruined. And Joey just died. And I'd say a little bit of us died that day. And I'll never forget Joey just running into that pond and trying to salvage what was left of some of those wet, dirty hustler pages. And that's one of those epic moments that you think back and you're like, damn, good times. So I hope you all enjoyed the infamous butt bush story, and stay tuned for episode 5, which will be another rendition of me and my amazing friends in the extravagant adventures we found ourselves in as young, wee little lads adventuring around town. So have a great night, guys.